welcome back to Cinematic Venom and happy Mother's Day! Well, you met my mother, my aunt, my grandmother, and this year you're going to meet my great-grandmother!
La la!
How have you been?
Nice!
Having a good weekend?
Gummy toes! Gummy toes!
What did you do?
La la la!
Oh!
Are you sure about this?
Secrets and Lies follows Hortense, played by Marianne Jean-Baptiste, a black optician who decides to seek out her birth mother after her adopted one passes away. However, she's shocked to find that said birth mother is actually a white working class woman called Cynthia, played by Brenda Blethyn, who lives with her daughter Roxanne, played by Claire Rushbrook, and has a strained relationship with her brother Morris and his wife Monica, played by Peter Pettigrew himself, Timothy Spall, and Phyllis Logan respectively. Cynthia denies this at first, but slowly accepts Hortense as her daughter. But when she invites her to a family barbecue and their already tense relationship starts to simmer over, it leads to an explosive confrontation. Man, I really need to pick more uplifting movies for Mother's Day, don't I?
La la! Gummy toes!
I agree.
Nice!
Yes, very.
The concept for Secrets and Lies came to writer-director Mike Leigh after he decided to make a story about adoption. He had grown up knowing many families who had adopted children and wanted to make a film that explored the complexities that come with such a relationship. I wanted for years to make a film which explored this predicament in a fictitious way. I also wanted to make a film about the new generation of young black people who are moving on and getting away from the ghetto stereotypes. These were jumping off points for a film which turns out to be an exploration of roots and identity.
Don't think so.
However, like all of Leigh's films, he had a very unusual filming process. Rather than writing a script and having the actors read from it, the story and dialogue were created through months of intense improvisation from which the movie finally came together.
Thanks, darling.
Secrets and Lies premiered at the Cannes Film Festival on May the 10th, 1996, where it won the top prize and the Best Actress Award for Blethyn before getting a wide release on May the 24th. It grossed $50 million worldwide against its $4.5 million budget and received universal acclaim, many declaring it one of the year's best movies. The film was also nominated for 5 Oscars for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Original Screenplay, even though it didn't have a screenplay.
La la la!
Of course not.
And the movie continues to receive praise as one of the best movies of the 1990s. And what better way to celebrate Mother's Day than looking at the digging of a mother's grave?
Then I got saddled with you. That was my downfall, darling. I didn't ask to be born.
There's also a weird photo shoot sequence, and I'm very uncomfortable with the fact that we go from a baby picture to a middle-aged woman wearing lingerie. I also want to show this to Americans who think that all of us speak like we're from Downton Abbey, when in reality we speak like...
Nothing's changed much. Ain't your mum been round looking after you?
Just came round Sunday after mess.
Didn't take you long to mess it up again.
She's laying off me a bit now.
I should think so too at your age.
Yeah.
She should have a word with my mum.
But this one isn't a representation of us, I swear.
Slap your ass!
Isn't that your brother? Peter Pettigrew is actually amazing in this and gives such a great performance. He's calm for the entire movie before the emotions finally become too much and he loses it at the end. It is an interesting study on adoption. So many people see those who put their children up for adoption as absent parents or cowards, but here we see that Cynthia's life is a complete mess and she did it for the better of the child. Her daughter Roxanne is a bit of a bitch, whereas Hortense actually has her life completely together. You'd automatically assume that it would be the other way around, but it shows that these things aren't as simple as they seem. Although there's a scene where someone calls their phone and doesn't speak, but it's never explained who it was. I mean, it couldn't be Hortense because minutes later she does call for the first time, so who the hell was it? The acting is incredible as Cynthia first realises she's talking to her daughter, and it's just moments after she's had a huge argument with Roxanne, so she's even more heightened with emotions. And despite giving her up for adoption, you can't help but feel sorry for Cynthia as she breaks down and begs her to not come to the house. You can tell that she's sorry for what she's done. But then comes how the hell she didn't realise that her baby was black.
Big hug!
You can't say that, Nana! The movie does explain that she was only 16 when she gave birth and barely even looked at the child, demanding they take her away, believing that she was premature, which would explain the different skin colour. Initially, she denies ever having sex with a black man, which leads to the theory of who Hortense's biological father is. Although it's never explicitly stated in the movie, it's heavily implied and often speculated online that Cynthia was the victim of rape. Initially, she denies being with a black man, but then suddenly becomes overwhelmed with emotion and realisation. Later on in the film, she opens up about Roxanne's father, but when Hortense asks about hers...
Was my father a nice man?
Oh, don't break my heart, darling.
And everyone everyone's looks on realization seals the deal for me. This would fully explain why she never looked at the child, forgot she was with a black guy, and why she put her up for adoption. It's the only explanation that really makes the story make sense, and the acting performances alone are enough to confirm it without the need of outright saying it. It's fantastic storytelling. And despite the horrific circumstances, Cynthia still comes across as a really polite and lovely woman.
They shouldn't go raising your hopes like that. It ain't fair.
The performances are great, and this one shot lasts around 8 minutes. It's one long, continuous take, and it's perfect. The actors have incredible chemistry, and this was genuinely the first time the actors ever met, which was done on purpose. For a while, there was a rumour that Blethyn also wasn't told that her co-star was black, but this turned out to be bogus. Over time, the two bond and act goofy together, and it is a really heartwarming story. It's really sweet, and it's told perfectly. Although one of her friends answers the door and immediately assumes Hortense is a Jehovah's Witness. Racist. They also have another long continuous take of all of them huddled around the world's smallest dining table. The cinematography and obvious results of hours of rehearsals and improvisation are great. Rehearsals and improvisation. That's oxymoronic. But you know what I mean!
As for you, well, thanks for the present. You've ruined my party and I hope you're happy.
The f*** did she do?
Maurice, I wish I'd had a dad like you. You're lovely.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, random woman whose name isn't important and serves no purpose to the plot. The movie is phenomenal. It's a very powerful piece, and although sometimes the subject matter may be difficult for some going through these issues to sit through, it's done respectfully. It has some of the best acting I've ever seen, and honestly, if you're looking for a good cry for Mother's Day, or even just a powerful story to really leave you thinking, this is certainly the one for you. So Nana, you gonna come back next year?
La la!
Never did love me, did you?